so here we are at Hillsborough River State Park. This is my test hike. I know I'm not gonna have any elevation, but this is my test hike before heading back to the AT. I'm gonna get out here and do about, I think it's 5.5 miles for the whole loop. I'll double check the map when I stop, but this is my first time here. It's been on my bucket list. It's been on my bucket list, so I'm super excited to do this hike today and hope that my feet are in good shape. No swimming. Don't feed the alligators. It's Hillsborough State Park, y'all. I am at parking lot 3, which the ranger told me to go to if I wanted to do the whole loop, which I'm going to do. So if you park here, as soon as you come down the walkway, restrooms, so I'm gonna hit that. So I just drove an hour, and then we're gonna head that way down the trails. Look how pretty this is. Ooh. So hello everybody, it's been a while. I know it's been a few weeks, and I apologize because I was just kind of trying to figure things out. And I didn't want to make any commitments either way as to where I was, obviously, what I was doing and what was going on until I kind of had a better picture of what that all looked like. But so I'm still in Florida, and today I'm actually going to take like about a 5.5 mile flatlander hike. My pack's maybe only like 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds, and just see how I do. I have inserts. I have a couple different ones. I have some hiking ones and runner ones, and I like both of them, so I'm going to carry both of them, interchange them out if I need to. And so I'm just going to see how I do just walking on the flat for right now with a light pack, and then make some determinations as to far as like when I feel I'm going to be in a position to go back onto the AT, if I'm going to be able to go back on the AT this year, or what that picture looks like. So, but for right now, I'm going to enjoy this beautiful day at Hillsborough River State Park. Okay, I'll apologize right now if there's any issues with wind today. It is breezy out, which is one of the reasons I decided to come, because it's in the upper 70s, but with the breeze, it's nice. Oh, they have a pool here. I've never been here. This is freaking awesome. I'm super excited to be on my feet. So here we're gonna start with the Baynard Trail. Ranger told me to head over to the suspension bridge, parking lot 3, to do the entire loop. Some vending machines. So we're gonna go this way. Restrooms. You can have a picnic. There is grills and picnic tables and playground. So, man, I'm so excited. You want to see what I look like today? Here, look at this. So we got inserts, compression socks, knee brace. Oh yeah, this is a watershed. We can, we go down here, I guess, and just sit and wait for something weird to swim by. It's crazy. This is a pretty park, though. I should have brought my bag in my tent. Now, spent the night. I walked this a couple times. So, I'm confused. Oh, the suspension. Okay. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so it's not marked very well because there's just like the trail went in like 2 different directions, and I'll show you up here. And I was like, I don't know which way to go. And because I'm doing more than one loop, I didn't open it up on all trails. I do have a paper map. So the ranger said take the suspension bridge, but there was no sign that said suspension bridge when I got to that fork. So now I went this way, and I was like, I'm looking, and I'm like, well, that's not a suspension bridge. So then I just happened to turn around. So sometimes, just like a tip, turn around and look behind you. When you're hiking, walking, whatever, you're always looking forward. And a lot of times the answer is behind you. just take a second. You're not sure, stop. You know, they always say if you're lost, stop. So, but yeah, so I got here, like I walked from here and I got to here, had the Hillsborough River watershed and what it is, and it just had foot traffic only. You can see, but it didn't say the suspension bridge was that way, and that's not a suspension bridge, so I just went that way. So, this way, obviously, is a suspension. I bet if you see that in the dark, just with the right lighting, it's gonna look like creatures kind of overlooking at the water, especially like that one from behind. I bet the night shadow on that is weird, but look at those. They're like perfectly like wooden sculptures, but they're just tree nubs. Look at how the roots have just like intertwined themselves along the watershed there. And look at that one right there. It looks like a foot sticking up out of the ground. So weird, but look at how beautiful this is. It's a beautiful day at the clouds. All right, look at the strength of this tree. So here's the base of this tree right here that just is growing sideways. I mean, and then just up to reach the sunlight. So I know this isn't the normal, beautiful turquoise colored waters that you're used to seeing in some parts of the beaches, but this water's pretty clear, and you can see, look at that. Seen a couple of them, but he's like just right in the perfect spot for me to get him on camera. But yeah, I mean, in general, even though it's not the turquoise water, it's pretty clear running through here. I mean, you can see the rocks underneath, and like in the area, it's pretty deep. I mean, I can see that it's pretty deep, but so yeah, it looks nice. And that guy, he's still hanging out right there, catching some rays, some warmth. Here, we're gonna solve this problem. Rapids Trail, Baynard Trail, Seminole Trail. So I parked at parking lot 3, getting ready to go over the suspension bridge. I'll go all along this way, come back the trail around, and then back to parking 3. So let's get going. So there's the suspension bridge. It says do not enter the water. No swimming, bathing, or wading. And there's your entrance to the suspension bridge. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm not a big high long bridge person, I will tell you. I don't like heights, so these are always a challenge. They're certainly a big challenge for me to actually film or take pictures, because usually I'm focusing on the other side. So, which is good. Got a few stairs. Working those knees. Nothing like climbing a mountain, but oh yeah, see, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. But this one doesn't wobble. But it's just the height, man. I was never like this when I was little, but look how cool this is. And the tree going over the top is just like magical. All right, let's see. I'll keep it going, but I'm gonna freak out, just so you know. I'm in panic mode right now. So, oh God. Oh, now it's moving. Now that I'm in the middle, now it's moving. The struggle is real, y'all. But there's only one way to the other side, and that's across a bridge. All right, so there's primitive camping down there from the Baynard and the Seminole Trail. Take that path down there, but then if you go straight here on this path, I mean, you could walk in here forever, for real. And so here's your the Baynard Trail that I'm getting ready to do, which is 1.1 miles. So we're gonna go in there. Hope it doesn't rain. I left the umbrella in the car. There's a chance of rain. Oh well, whatever. So we're gonna bust out this 1.1 miles. All right, let's go. So I just flipped this around, turned on the camera, and I was like, who's behind me? And it was my poles and my pack. Because I don't really think that I'm gonna need them in here. But I always bring my poles. I am feeling pretty good. I'm still having, I've probably walked a little over a mile already. And I still have a little bit of heel pain. Not anything terrible. So I'm not 100% healed, but my arches feel pretty good and my knee feels really good. So I was really hoping to start heading back to the mountains actually today, but I pushed it a day just because I didn't feel I was ready. And I was like, maybe I'll go tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sold that I'm gonna head up there and be able to continue on without having to come back. So that being said, right now my plan is I'm gonna probably give it a few more days. So different from, like, I'm assuming this is water at times. You've got all the little tree nubs or what I call them. And, and I'm walking on a bridge, so if this doesn't get water, it must obviously get swampy when the summer rains come through. But the sounds are so much different from what I've been in the woods. I got the birds and the lizards that make a lot of noise when they're running across the leaves. And even a few minutes ago, I had a bird just fly right across in front of me. It scared the bejeebies out of me. So they don't usually fly like 2 feet off the ground right in front of you. Oh, but yeah, pretty, definitely. This was much needed for me to get back out in nature and get some fresh air and get some movement. And this is actually a really easy trail right here, this Baynard. You get to go across the suspension bridge. It's only 1.1 miles, and you walk along the watershed for a good portion of it. And now you're just walking through here, and it's flat, and there's not a lot of roots or rocks or whatever, and the mile markers are coming up pretty fast. I don't know what it is. It's something about, there's just something about walking on a wooden bridge like this in the forest. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just because, like, you're elevated a little bit. And you get to see down from a different vantage point than when you're on the flat surface. I don't know if that's what it is, but I don't know. Just always does something to me. Look at this bad boy. This came around the corner and I'm like, and it always amazes me how they're hollow and still standing. Crazy. All right, just to give you some sense, like, oh, it's so pretty with the sun. I mean, he's hollow. So I'm like, look, I'm standing. Look at how wide. I feel like I stepped into a new little dimension right here. I'm about like a half a mile before I'll be done with the Seminole Trail. That was 3.3, so my feet are holding up pretty good. But so I got this little, like, I call them, like, I don't know, trunk. They're just a little, like, rest of what used to be a tree at some point. And then I'm walking along the Hillsborough River right now on the right side. So it's beautiful. Keeping my eyes out for gators now that I'm back near the water. I'm hoping maybe we see one. Not too close. but see. So look at butterfly again. What is it? You see that? Holy mackerel. So where I'm at right now is like my arches feel pretty good. They're a little bit sore just because I haven't walked this much in several weeks now. But my heels are still sore, so they still have some healing to do. I was hoping to be heading up there today, back to the mountains, either today or tomorrow, and I was gonna do a slack pack without a pack, and then just do a shorter distance and then come home and see how I did, and then if I felt like I could go back on permanently, have Joe take me up there. But for right now, I'm just taking, there are so many butterflies, y'all, it's insane. But for right now, I'm just taking it day by day, and I'm starting to incorporate some walking back into my recovery. Obviously, I can't go back on trail and hike 10 miles again. And if it's 5 or it's 6, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing well, and I'm not having any further problems, then at that point, I just have to make the decision, am I gonna go at that pace until I can increase, or am I just gonna, I don't know, maybe end up flip-flopping? And if you don't know what flip-flopping is, that would basically mean I would go and start in Harper's Ferry, which is in West Virginia. Oops. Hey, puppy. Hello. When a dog comes running at me on a hiking trail, full speed and jumps up at me, it's just not, it's not. So a flip-flop is basically where instead of me going back and getting back on trail at Winding Stair Gap, which is where I got off, and continuing to head north and start at Harper's Ferry, which is roughly the halfway point, and then hike from there to Maine, and then after I summited Katahdin, then I would go back to Harper's Ferry and hike south to Winding Stair. So basically that's what that would do, is kind of connect that loop. So we'll see. Every day right now, I'm just taking it day by day, seeing how I'm feeling, listening to what my body's telling me, and making decisions from there. But I will tell you that you know, mentally I'm still out there, and I still want to be out there. I started questioning, like, maybe I'm not going to be able to do this year, and I don't know that I'm at that point yet, unless I just can't make a full recovery, obviously within a certain time frame. But so that's my goal, is to still get back out there. I still have time. I've missed doing the videos, I've missed hiking, I've missed the AT, I've missed the people that I've met. They're so far ahead of me now, the ones that are still on trail. I'll never catch up with them. So I'm kind of like looking forward to getting on trail. Okay, so here is this palm tree. It's right in the, because at first I'm like, am I supposed to go under it? Because it looks like people have got under it, and then people walk this way and go over it. But this palm tree is not dead. Some of the trees, when they're leaning sideways, are dead. No, it's just growing sideways. And then up towards the sun. So, unbelievable. So I'm not gonna go under it, because I do have a small day pack on it with my trekking poles sticking out of the top, which will probably, but yeah. And there it is from the other angle. So it's rooted, it is not dead. And it is just totally going sideways. So it must have fallen over from a storm, but didn't fall over enough that the roots got damaged.